Um, Today's session will be dedicated to simple ways to add UX to your design process. I will explain what I mean. First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Natalia Treskova. I am a senior product designer at Vivid Money. Vivid Money is a European neobank which combines a lot of different financial stuff like daily banking, investments, cashbacks, and so on. Previously, I used to work as a lead product designer at Alfa Bank. Alfa Bank is the biggest commercial bank in Russia. And as a lead product designer, I used to work with middle and junior designers. I used to hire designers, and I also used to work as a senior and a middle designer at Alfa Bank. So I have a very, quite a big experience in different types of product design. There are some essential moments. Our session is recording, and I will send the recording to you after it. And please ask questions in chat. I'll ask them after the end of the presentation, and you will get more useful information for you. So let's start. There are some core ideas I would like to share with you. First core idea is that you don't need much resources to explore your users. What I mean, sometimes people think that they need a big UX laboratory, or they need a lot of money, or they need UX researchers in their company to get information about users. Or even if you're a freelancer or you work in a small company which doesn't have quite great product culture and nobody invests in it, you still can explore your users just yourself, and nothing will stop you if you decide to explore them. Next core idea is that you don't need to work in Netflix to be able to provide researchers. Sometimes I hear that designers feel a bit unconfident if they don't work in big product companies, and if they work at freelance projects, and they feel like they cannot provide researchers because their company isn't a product company, and nobody in this company understands why they should provide this research. But you should provide this research for your design process and for making UX and user flow for your users better. So even if you don't work in a great company with UX laboratory and a lot of great product leaders, you still can provide researchers again yourself. And last core idea is that you don't need to have much experience to start improving UX of your projects. Sometimes people feel like they have to know some secret to start improving UX. If you have worked only with UI, or if you have no experience as working as a product designer, you still can start one day. So you can do it anyway, even if you don't have any experience. Well, one of your researches will definitely be the first research. So probably you will start tomorrow, and that's totally okay. As a conclusion, I think that the main thing is that you only need to start doing it. And at first, you will struggle some problems, of course, because everybody suffers problems when they just start doing something new. But the only thing is to start doing something new. And there are good strategy in creating great user experiences and great UI and great UX is looking for inspiration on daily basis. What I mean, for example, tip 1, make screenshots. When you see something interesting in another app, when you see something interesting at some website, when you buy something at Amazon, or book a hotel at Booking, or Airbnb, or Aviasales, or any Glovo, any app you like. And when you see a screen you like, just make a screenshot. Or if you see an animation you like, just record to video. And this is an example of my phone screenshots album. And probably your screenshot album at your phone can look like this. So if you see something interesting, don't think about it. Just create a screenshot, and one day it will help you. Second tip, if you're looking for a place where you can save screenshots you like, or maybe shots from Dribbble you like, you can create Pinterest collections. For example, I use Pinterest collections, and when I have to create some new screen or some new UI or UX, I just know that there is a place where I can find some inspiration, and I don't have to look for this inspiration right at the moment. There is always a place where I have a lot of screens which can inspire me. Tip 3, download more apps and explore new websites. For example, when I was working on a social network inside our banking app, I downloaded a lot of different social networks apps, and I don't use them as a regular user, but I wanted to look at them as a potential user and to find interesting flows, or maybe some interesting widgets, or however. And you can create folders with these apps and just explore them. And I also work at a banking app, and I used to work at a bank app before. So I have a folder with finance references also on my phone, and it's very useful. If we talk about websites, there are a lot of sites like Site of the Day or Awards, etc., where you can see amazing websites and get inspired there. And it's a very good habit if you spend 30 minutes at the beginning of the day exploring what new apps appear in App Store or Google Play, or what new websites appear at sites like Awards, Site of the Day. So this is a great beginning of the day. Then I recommend you always ask questions from the beginning when you enter any project. When you come to a company, or when you start a project as a freelancer, you can always ask your managers questions like, who are our users? What problems do we want to solve? How we will understand that the problem is solved in terms of metrics? And if it's not a new project, if you improve current project, you can also ask, can we check current statistics? Even if you are working currently on a project and you haven't asked these questions before, you can go to your manager and ask them today or tomorrow. It's never late to ask these questions, and it's never late to understand better who your users are and which problem do you want to solve. And it doesn't depend on the size of the company you work at. It doesn't depend on whether it is a freelance or a big product company. So just go and ask these questions. There is a simple type of research, which is called competitive analysis. When you look for your product competitors, and my tip 1 is add screenshots to a Figma. Don't just look at screens you like, save them at the Figma files to explore UX and UI in more details. Sometimes I see that people just write text about the competitor's design, but it won't actually help you to improve your UX flows. So save them to Figma, and it will help you to work with. Tip 2, divide screenshots into groups. When you find some nice screenshots you like or some references you like, you should understand what exactly you like about these screenshots. For example, somewhere you like colors, somewhere you like tone of voice. At some references, the typography is nice. At some references, navigation or clearliness is great. So you divide your screenshots into groups, and it will help you to copy the elements you like and to copy the elements which will actually help you to improve your user flows. So don't copy other products, but look for inspiration. I will mute. Yes. Next part is about talking to your users, and it's the most important part, I suppose. It's very important. It's crucial to talk to your users to understand why they use your product, what they want when you use the product, and how you can help them to use it better. So it's better to talk to one user than not to talk to anybody. Keep it simple. If you struggle finding users of your product, if you don't know how to start, if you don't feel confident, just try to talk to one user. It's okay. Next time you will talk to 2 users, and then you will be used to it and you will not feel unconfident, and just start from the level you can afford now. Then tip 2, people might be happy to help you if you ask them. Don't think that you're wasting somebody's time when you ask them to take part in an interview. When you ask people to take part in a research, they're very often really happy to do it. It sounds amazing, it sounds exciting, and it sounds fun, and people like helping other people. So make it fun and just relax, and I think nothing awful can happen. Tip 3, users are everywhere. If you think that it's hard to find users for your project, it's usually not so hard. Start your user search with your social networks, create posts in Facebook or stories and Instagram. The text can be very casual. You can write something like, "Hi everyone, I'm looking for people who have, for example, invested in crypto this year. Want to ask you a few questions to make best experience for Vivid app users." Or you can create a stories with a photo, with emojis. It looks fun, it looks chill, and people will help you if they have the experience you need. It's also great if you can write about the experience the potential user must have. For example, I wanted to talk to people who invested in crypto, and you can write it inside your post. If you know how many minutes it will take, it's also great to write about it, because it will be easier for people to understand how much time they will spend helping you. So make it chill. Tip 4, prepare a script for your interviews and follow it. Keep it fun. Still, the interview is not something super serious. Yes, you want to explore your users and you want to improve UX, but it should be fun for people, and they should enjoy it, and they should feel like they help you, and they shouldn't feel tired after the interview ends. Then prepare clear structure for the interview and follow the structure. So if you talk to several people, use the same script for all these people, and ask only those questions which will help you to solve your design problems. So don't ask people about everything. You just need to check your hypothesis or to check your prototypes. and ask questions about it. I will share an example of an interview script with you. I use the scripts for all my user interviews. It has the same structure. So at first, I add an introduction, a short introduction. When I say my name, I say where I work, and I say that I'm working on this project at the moment, and we want to understand how our users would wish to see it or to use it. I want to thank you for your time. Don't forget to thank other people for helping you, because when they take part in your interview, they help you. And tell them how much time they will spend answering your questions. And then there are several sections. Second section, it is general question sections. General question section. It usually doesn't take much time. You ask your users general questions about, for example, banks or no-banks experience. And this block of questions will help your user to relax a bit and will help you to better understand users' context. Then you proceed to specific questions block. These will be questions about feature you are currently working on, and avoid closed questions, which can be answered with yes or no. Add questions where people can describe something, describe their experience, and tell you more. And after that, you can add a section with prototype tests, when you show your users prototypes and ask them to do some user tasks. So you will have use cases you want to test and hypotheses for these use cases. For example, your hypothesis might sound like user understands where to find their account credential fast and without effort, and user task might sound, please tell me your account IBAN. And this structure you can use for all interviews. It's very simple and it's very clear. So if we come back to our presentation, next tip, sometimes you don't feel confident when you have to talk with people you don't know, and it's absolutely okay. So you can create Google Polls, Google service, and you will not talk to people. It's not so effective from my opinion, but however, you will get some knowledge about your users. So the service shouldn't be too short or too long. They should be not boring for your users. Again, prepare clear structure for this service and ask on those questions which will help you to solve your design problems. So it is so much like the interview scripts, but you will not talk to anybody if you feel shy, if you feel unconfident about it, if you just don't want to talk to other people right now, you still can get some information from people. Then next point is about describing your designs in terms of user flows. Remember that you are not creating screens, you create user flows. So it's a great practice to start looking at your screens, at all these states of the screens and buttons and inputs and so on, to look at them as at user flows. Choose design, tip 1, choose product design framework and start working with it. There are several frameworks and there are several tools which will help you to better understand your users. You can use any of them. Usually the choice of the tool depends on your current context and on your product. But if you haven't used any of them, just start from the one you like. So you can use job stories or user stories, or you can draw a CGM. And at first, I suppose it will be difficult for you to start doing it. But when you are used to it, you will find it very useful. Don't hesitate if nobody at your project has real product development experience. It's okay if you're the first person at your company or within your project who wants to bring product design approach to your work. Sometimes you work with people who have never developed a real product, and especially if you work as a freelancer, usually people don't have much product experience, but it mustn't stop you from starting creating this product culture within your project process or within the your company team processes. Be the first person. It's great to be the first person who offers something, so don't be shy again. And we proceed to next part. It is called Google it. It's a very universal and general tip, but it is very useful, however. Just Google it. Explore your product, industry, users everywhere. For example, you can see videos on YouTube where people compare one bank card with another bank card. They compare everything with everything. One delivery app with another delivery app. There are a lot of app reviews on YouTube, and these are real users who review the apps, and you can get a lot of user feedback from these videos, and you actually don't have to do anything to create any artifacts. You don't have to provide interviews. You don't have to check statistics or anything. It's super simple. You just can spend several evenings of your week watching YouTube and watching how people use your app or app like yours, or maybe they share thoughts about the industry you're working at, or etc. And then you can go to Google Play and App Store, and you can go to competitors' apps pages or to your app page and read the reviews. Usually people write negative reviews because when they have positive experience, they don't go anywhere, they feel great. And if people struggle some problems, they go to forums, Google Play, App Store, and so on, and write this long text how they don't like the app. So you can get a lot of useful information reading these store reviews. I really recommend it. You will find a lot of interesting details. You can also read Instagram comments and Facebook comments and any social networks comments. Again, people usually write negative comments when they're upset about the product, when they don't like some user flows, and it's a great source of users' feedbacks. And if a user comes to Facebook, for example, or to Instagram and writes a comment, it means that it's really important for the user because he or she wasn't lazy and spent their time to write this comment, and it's a real problem and you can improve it. It's a real UX problem sometimes. And you can also read articles about your product or its competitors, and you will understand better the users and the flows and probably the money issues. You will understand why your product or your project focuses on the features it actually focuses on, and maybe you will understand more about your users. So Google it, use any information you find in the net, and it will help you to create better UX. Then next part, it's about support team. It's also a very nice tip, and I didn't understand it when I was a junior and middle designer, but support team are your best friends. These people know a lot about users. They talk to users, and then when users are angry and when they feel upset, and then when they feel really upset, They call the support team, or they write emails to the support team, or they write to them in Facebook, whatever, and they ask questions and they share the users' problems. And it's a great source of information about real users' life. So go to your support team. If you have a support team in your company, go to them and ask questions, explore tickets they're currently working on, ask about user struggles, and they will help you to better understand your users. And don't underestimate these guys. Probably the most important idea that only you yourself can make your design tasks interesting. Once I came to my product and I felt very upset because I thought that my tasks in her team, they weren't interesting and I didn't like them, and I couldn't understand how I can research them, and it was so disappointing for me. But my product said to me that she can't make my tasks interesting for me. I'm the only person who can be curious and who can provide these researches, and I'm the only person who can come to the product team and say that I want to explore the users and I want to better understand the task. So it is always you who can make your own design work interesting, and it is always you who can make the researches great, and it is only you, it's your responsibility to improve the UX. And it turned out to be shorter than I thought. That's all. Thank you. I will see the questions. You didn't hear anything? I don't know why, but I will share the recording, so I will send it to you. Okay. How would you add those inspirations to a case study if you want? One second. How would you add those inspirations to a case study if you took a lot of app screenshots for inspirations? I think that you can add the screenshots which actually helped you to create your final solution. For example, if you had a lot of screenshots about, I don't know, navigation, you can group them into one blog and say that these screenshots help you to create the navigation system. If you have another group of screenshots which help you to create header or maybe textiles, you can say that these 5 apps helped you to create your textiles. So you group them, and sometimes you can also draw kind of rectangles or circles just on the screenshots, upon the screenshots, to show the elements which helped you to create some solutions. It also would be more efficient if you show on the screenshot what actually helped you. You don't just add a screenshot to your case study or to your portfolio and say that it inspired you. You add the screenshot, you draw an arrow, for example, to the place of the screenshot which helped you to create a solution, and you write a comment that this exact place on the screenshot helped you to create a solution. I hope I answered this question. If you have more questions, you can ask them. Yes, thank you too. Really, if you have other questions, you can still ask them. What about articles? I will share with you after this session. I will share the interview structure example. I will share the Google survey example, and I will share you some really useful articles about job story and user stories. It's a huge topic, how to write them. I think you should at first read these articles and try to do it yourself. And if you have any problems with it, we'll solve them. More ways to improve visual design. I think the best way to improve your visual design is to, is to create a habit of making screenshots and creating recordings of apps you like. It's the best way, because if you see something beautiful, if you see some great UX or great UI, you just make a screenshot and you create a folder at your smartphone, or you create a folder, a Pinterest collection, or you create a folder anywhere, and you collect these examples of great design. It's the first step, and second step, it's about spending at least 30 minutes every day. For example, when you wake up, when you have breakfast, or after you have breakfast, you look for new apps in Google Play or App Store, and you download the app and you see how it works. You see the onboarding, you see the screens. And also there are a lot of great websites. Actually, they're very beautiful. Let's see, 1 second. We can go to awards. It's more about web design, but to be honest, I think that it can help you with mobile design too. So you go to website like awards, and there are a lot of beautiful websites here. You go to any website and they look amazing. They look so inspiring. They don't look like mobile design, but they usually have some interesting animations, just like this, or some really nice navigations. Just look at this. It is so great. It is so beautiful. Oh my God. And you can check the site every day. You can check new applications every day. And one day you will start creating your own beautiful websites, because actually you will not have other choice. So I think that the best way to improve your visual UI design, to look for inspiration every day. Spend 15 minutes or 30 minutes every day exploring new websites and new mobile applications, and your UI design will improve. How many screenshots would be grouped together? I heard sometimes it can be overwhelming for people that read the case study if there is a lot. I think that you actually shouldn't have a lot of screenshots. You can show one screenshot which helped, or maybe one to a couple of screenshots which helped you to create your actual solution. So you don't have to show a lot of similar screenshots. You have to show different screenshots, and it shouldn't be a large section. It should be a very compact section. When you say that you looked at the competitors, you know that your application or your website is not unique. You have competitors, and you understand that user can choose between you, your project, and other competitors. And you can show 1 or 2 screenshots and say that they had an example of great UX, for example, at their onboarding process, and it inspired you to create your own onboarding process. So couple of screenshots, maybe 2, 3, up to 5, and you also should show what exactly you liked within the screenshots. It's not much about, well, usually it's not about the screenshots themselves, it's more about user flows. So you will have to explain what actually you liked with words in front of the screenshots. Dribbble Behance. Yes, Dribbble and Behance are great places. However, you should be also careful. For example, when you see Dribbble designs, they are very usually they're usually not. I'll try to explain. It seems, but that real products can't look like Dribbble shots, because in Dribbble shots you usually have big numbers, you have there are big shadows, you have big elements, and in real life you usually have other numbers, you have a lot of elements, and they're not realistic sometimes. So they can be an inspiration for you. Of course, they can be an inspiration. However, you should realize that sometimes it might confuse you, and it shouldn't confuse you, because you should remember that Dribbble's design is not real life design. And Behance is better in terms of that, because people usually show real cases at Behance. Well, they often do it, but still you should remember that it's not real design. And when you create real designs, they're also beautiful. They're more messy, and they don't have those colored shadows, but they help real people to solve their real problems. And in my opinion, it is more beautiful. Yes, better size for realistic ideas. However, if you go to websites on these award collections, you go to real sites, and they help people, and they're still beautiful. So you can create beautiful designs for real life. It is possible. You don't have to create ugly designs for real life. Just find the balance between real data and your designs. Yes, we can see it. Oh. Yes, another great. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. I love it so much, actually. A lot of fonts. Oh, yes, yes, animations. You know, mobile app design is very popular, but I like web design so much. There is so much creativity in it. Yes, very beautiful. They're a beautiful site. Well, if you don't have other questions, there are an inspiration section, internet gems. Oh my God, yes, you can spend, I don't think it's impossible to spend just 15 minutes at websites like this, because they show you such beautiful examples of design, which is just wow. Well, guys, I think that the useful part is over. I hope the session was helpful for you. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, any offers how to improve the session and so on, you can always write to me in LinkedIn or at ADP List. I will share my LinkedIn within an email after the session. So you can write me anywhere. If you have any questions, you are totally welcome. Yes, and thank you very much. Hope you are going to have a great day with a lot of design inspiration. Wish you a great day, and any feedback is always welcome. Bye.